Why not?
I don't think it's recordable, but I guess
Oh
you could
yeah,
just record it. Yeah, it's pretty simple.
I'll just keep stopping and starting and have a bunch of
Oh,
recordings at the
that's
end of the
right.
day.
You can start and stop. That's right. It made two
I
files.
know. I get little dribbles and drabbles of recorded information.
So should I start?
Yeah, Shao is trying to bring it up on his machine.
Okay.
Yeah, be careful what you say because you're being recorded.
Okay, it's launching. Why is my video on?
Oh, I see you.
Hey, Shaw, there you are.
I need to close it. I don't know. Okay.
Oh, you're on a separate screen. It's
Okay.
showing up on the big screen.
I will check it.
I think in the lower
Anthony.
left corner, you can turn it on or off. Just to let you know, Shaq.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Alrighty. Oh, darn it, I can hear myself. Okay, so you asked, how can you make sure the validation is being run every time? Well,
how do you manipulate manipulate the validation code?
Okay, so let's go to the disclosure certification real quick. So let's say we're doing a state transition, right? And we're doing it via an activity, right? So say, for example, we're going to submit it to requested clarifications. So let's find that activity where we're submitting it to requested clarifications.
I thought I saw it briefly there.
Oh, you did? Oh, here it goes. So request clarifications is right here, right? So let's go into that entity there. Now, see this box here, validate before execution. If you check that box, it will validate the project, like if it's in a state transition. There's other sub things here, show data that's not in current path. You probably don't want to do that because most likely it's already on the path it needs to be on. And then the show reviewer notes, response required, if it's not in the current path or whatever. So you don't want to really mess with this stuff down here because you're usually not going to use it. But that's what you do to check. Like make sure the questions are required, that they're validated. But as in terms of running the validations on the views themselves, that just happens in the smart form. So when it goes through a state transition, it does not run that validation in the smart forms. It just checks for the required attribute.
Right.
Does that
help?
Won't
let you proceed.
Kind of. I mean, like for example, like I'm running into a situation where sometimes the objectivity of research questions are being validated, or like as to whether or not they're answered or not. It's only happening sometimes on the when you click finish.
Right. So for example, if I were to go to a one that was, I guess, in the objectivity of research state, is that what you're thinking about? So
it's in the reviewing submission state.
So it's in reviewing submission here. So this is when COI is in their court basically, right?
Yeah.
And so they send request clarifications, right? Is that what
they're trying to edit? They're trying to edit the relatedness assessment to add questions to it. but when
Okay.
they add questions and then they click finish, some like occasionally, Pam and Rick have been testing on old disclosures
Mm-hmm.
that didn't have the new questions. So now when they test those disclosures, those questions are added on now, but they're not answered.
I see. So if it's on old disclosures, then those questions wouldn't be answered anyway. I mean, if it's on an old disclosure, then they can't rely on the validation that we have in place now. Because, say, for example, we have a new disclosure. When it gets to the part where it's in reviewing submission, then let's see, are we talking about PHS or 9510?
9510, just for now.
Okay, so the 9510s, all of the objectivity research questions should be answered by then, right?
That's what I figured, but I need to fix this eventually. But right now, in the objectivity of research state, when the disclosure is filling out those questions, there's no validation on that section.
Can you give us an example, maybe?
Yeah, why don't you
Like,
bring up the screen if
I
you
don't
can?
have one
I think
that
that would
I'm
be.
working on. I don't remember which one.
Is it in the ticket at all?
No, it's not on the ticket. It's just I was playing around with it just to see what would happen, and then I forgot what research project it is. But basically, I was able to bypass. I was able to not completely answer all of the objectivity of research questions and continue with the form.
I see. And this was 9510, like a new one. So if, let's say we go here, this is a 9510, this is in disclosed interests. So I'm going to go to this. This is in disclosed interests. We'll view or edit. I'll add this. I'm just going to try to get into the objectivity of research state.
Is this call choppy to people? Does it sound choppy? Is it just to me?
It sounds a little weird, but that's because you guys are speaking at different volumes.
Oh, okay, but not choppy. All right.
Unfortunately, I can't be the discloser when I do this, but something tells me maybe I should be the discloser. What do you think, Nam?
If you want to get past you should be the disclosure. On the version that Rick has, none of those fields are active. Or none of those fields should be active. And so validation should be turned off when sending it back to the COI analyst.
Right. I think that's what happened. So it moved into reviewing submission. So the discloser moved it into reviewing submission, the analyst actually moved it into reviewing submission. And then the analyst, instead of saying that the person needs to fill out objectivity of research questions, just sent it on to the director for approval. So the objectivity research questions aren't answered. So the problem is, if they're not answered, then it's going to create a validation error. Although it's weird, if they're hidden, they shouldn't be. So that's a little weird to me too.
Yeah.
Anthony, didn't we have this problem before with hidden on earlier projects, and it was supposedly fixed by the Click platform that, hidden questions were still triggering validation errors. Remember that?
Yeah, I kind of remember that. I'm not
But
sure.
weren't you, what I thought I heard you saying was, if you turn validation off on the activity, that should solve it?
That should solve it in this case, but at the same time, like I was saying, since the questions are hidden, there shouldn't be any, fill out these required fields. So the error is
Got it.
validation.
That's just like kind of a,
review the page and correct any errors.
got it.
So it could be the validation that's running right here. But the problem with this, I don't see anything that throws a validation. So it's probably not this. So it's somehow looking at the required fields. And unfortunately, I'm logged into Chrome here. So when I click on this guy, it's going to look bad. At least I think it should look bad. Yep, looks bad. So I can't look at, there's something on here that I can look at. Let's see. That's why, darn it. I'm logging off. And then I'm going to log off this one too. Log in as, ECYQA. Going back to site administration, project type center, disclose certification, go to the views, go to the relatedness assessment view, which is right here. So we already know that this only shows in a particular state because we'll go to conditional display. So if this is a PHS and it's in the state of reviewing submission, I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be. So it's in reviewing submission and it's a PHS, which means that this down here shows up when it's in, it's when show opportunity of research questions is true. So if they said no, I wonder if Rick said yes and then sent it along. But it's, yeah. Anyway, sorry. So
I'll look into it. It's
well, I just wanted to show this part down here. So when region is hidden, keep child attributes values on from post. So this might work, or ignore the child attributes, and so it won't actually post it back to the server. So you can mess with this too, but the easy way to do it, is just turn off validation when it gets sent back.
On the activity.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's no reason for it to check for required fields after the director has looked at it.
Right. Yeah, that's the simple, like 5-minute solution.
Yeah, see, look, even
30-second
here,
solution.
it says don't use in required fields validation. There it goes. So, a little weird. Hopefully that will help.
yeah. I'm just
So,
a little.
Nam, are you
I'm just still
all
a little
set on that?
weirded out. I'm all.
Went back one too far. So return to analyst right here. Oh, no, it's not on. Interesting. Validate before execution. This is return to analyst. Oh no, it was clicking on finish. Go into that one and then edit relatedness assessment. And then if I click finish, oh, it still did it. Yeah, we need to find out why what the problem is there, definitely.
Nam, do you have a pretty good sense that you know how to go in and troubleshoot this now?
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably try to recreate it in the first place.
There's another thing that you can do. If I go to, and this is, I'm thinking not super recommended, but
I can
just
see you guys using that specific thing to generate the error, but I mean,
yeah, but we're trying to figure out, who's generating that error. It's a problem.
yeah.
So I'm going to the disclosure certification, the one that Click does. So if I double click on that, look at the methods and look at the last method, validate. This does a validation, right? And there's something called this error info array. And in this error info array, it has, the errors. So there's some way where we need to just output the errors.
Can you hit record on this? Because this is a good thing to, I think, record, and I can't hit record.
No, you can't?
Yeah, well, I might be able to. Oh, no, it is recording. Okay, we're good.
Oh, it's recording? Okay.
Yeah, it is.
So this error info array, it says, so the thing about this error info array on the disclosure certification, it goes up the chain and calls its parent validate function, its parent's validation function. And if there are something in the disclosures, which there shouldn't be, because this has to do with portfolios. So this is not the right, I mean, this does a portfolio validation as well, the disclosures that's on a actual portfolio, it does validation on those, but then it does it on itself too. So I'm just saying, if you wanted to go into here and somehow log what the error info array is, you'd have to loop through it though, because I think this is an array. So if I said for XA equals 0, XA is less than arrow info array. A plus plus. Sorry, excuse me. I don't know what the properties are on this, but it's somewhere. I think it might be in the documentation. So that looks okay.
Where are these recorded videos at, by the way? Where are they going?
So they get downloaded to my computer, and then I can throw them up anywhere. I can put this on DevInfo where we have the recording for the patching. I'll just throw it up there.
Now this,
Info?
Oh, you can't get to Collab. Shaw, you can get to Collab, right?
Yes, I can.
So now I'm going to put it on Collab, ask Shaw to grab it for you, and then he can pass it over to you. However.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, if you want. Yeah, I can do that.
okay, sorry, move that over a little bit. So what I was doing was editing in Dev when I thought I was doing it in QA. So I should have been doing it in QA.
Yeah, I was going to point that out, but I thought, well, you could probably get it to work in Dev.
Yeah, the only reason why I was doing it is because I was like, oh, okay, this is QA, we're not going to keep this sort of thing.
So you can blow it away. Yeah, exactly. Whereas if you put it in Dev, it's going to propagate up.
Well, I did. The one thing I didn't do was check that out, so that's good. So since it's not checked out, it's not going to be saved.
Oh, okay. That's right.
I removed it as well. So I'm going to go here. That's all right. So if I go to disclosure, certification, I go to methods, I go to the validate function at the bottom. You know what? This might not work. And the reason I'm saying it might not work is because this validate function is the one that's called when you do that send to analyst thing. So, but well, let's just see what the deal is. So that's saved. Let's go to the log. I just want to see what it looks like at the end. Okay, it's not initialized. That looks fine. Now let's go and create that error. Finish.
Did you save?
Yeah, I did. You mean save this function here? Yeah, I saved it.
Right. Okay, I just didn't see that part.
Okay, let's see something. At least it looks like a lot of stuff is generated. Okay. Okay, here it goes, an error. But this isn't the same. This isn't from what I put in there. This objectivity of research. Show objectivity research question. Okay. So that is being validated. So since for something happened, that's what happened. So what happened was,
Anthony, can you throw that error into the ticket? Would that be a good idea?
Sure, we can do that. So let me explain what happened. So what happened was the disclosure went from the disclosure. No, sorry, from the analyst. The analyst put it into reviewing submission, and without editing the relatedness assessment, sent it directly to the director for review. In that case, that show objectivity research question was not answered. So since that wasn't answered, which I thought I had a something on there to validate that before that happened. But I think we went through a lot of changes in that reviewing submission state, so somehow it got taken off somewhere, because you don't want the analyst to send something to reviewing submission or to the director without answering that question first. So in order to fix this, we have to go to close. No, sorry. The state transition. We go to state transition and we're moving from reviewing submission. So current state. So from reviewing submission to requested clarifications, we can say,
Do we want in both for, that's for director reviewing submission too, right?
no, this, so we'll.
Yeah, isn't that right? Because it's
Reviewing submission to director reviewing submission. Well,
the other way.
Right, but you know what I'm thinking? So this, in order for it to actually run this, if we put a criteria on it saying, oh, this needs to be done, so it won't happen here, because if we put it here, then no error will say, nothing will tell the analyst, oh, you need to fill this out. So we need something to say, oh, analyst, fill this out. And the only way we're going to do that is on the activity itself. So if we get this activity, let's keep going to director, right? Send to director, which is probably one of the last ones. Get director's approval here. So if we put something in here that checks, oh, so that was the deal. So in here you have to say, okay, pull out the Boolean for show objectivity of research questions. And once you pull it out, then check to see if it is not undefined, and if it is undefined, then throw error, right? That's what you have to do. Which, if I go ahead and do it into QA, oh, this is in QA. Oh, I didn't know that was in QA. Now, where's that again? Get director's approval. There you go. Oh. So, this, no. Mm. I think it will be null. I mean, sorry, undefined, but I always do this because I'm never sure. I think it goes like this. You didn't. Okay, great. Something like that. There. So, okay. The thing is, we can't. The only way we can make sure that that is the problem is if we go into QA. Darn it, this is QA.
You have to get that qualified attribute.
Yeah, you have to. Oh, I never filled it in. I see what you mean.
You didn't. I thought you were saving that for later.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, or nom or later.
Oh, you're so right. Duplicate. Go back here. I'm gonna go back.
Can everybody run a little bit longer, especially if Shaw, you have questions?
Yeah, I do have some questions.
Go ahead.
Okay. Is that okay to keep going with everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a hard stop at around 11:30, but up until then I can go. Or on my side. And Shaw, I'm going to do a separate recording for your questions anyway, too.
Okay.
And
So
then,
nobody will have to watch through 45 minutes of this just to get to your question.
okay, and then let's go to certification custom extension and no, it's not here. It's probably in here. I'm guessing. Sorry, I'm putting this in here. Just and show objectivity research questions right there. So what I usually do when I do this is have it the same name as what that is. Say, okay. Now, the only way we can test this out is, or make sure it's the same thing, is if we go to that, this and set that to, and this is the container. So if this is the container, and we set that value and actually I can do that pretty quick. This is dev and I want to go to dev.
What do you mean this is the container?
I'll show you. Give me 1 second.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, it's all right. So site administration, I'm going to the command console for QA. Yep. And then if I look up container here, at least I think there's container. There isn't container. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's do new. Container set value on DC. So when I say container in that URL up there, in this, sorry, it was, nope, it was right here. So we're in the disclosure certification right here. The disclosure certification has a container. Within this container, there's a resource, and that resource is the disclosure certification. Let me show you. So get entity from string, I believe, or it's something like that. DC equals container resource, and then DC, and then I'm going to go back to, if I don't have it open already. Nope, I don't. Oh, sorry. I went to there by accident. Actually, let's do this. Copy that. I'm going to go to back here. And then I'm going to change this target entity with that. And so this should throw an error and it should throw this error if that's not the same. Now this get entity from string, I might have spelled that wrong, ENTITY, but I'll save that. I'm going to go back to one of my other command things and say, where is get entity? Where's get entity from string? It's probably the scratch. There it goes. Yep, see? Get entity from string, but I have to do it with the WOM. At least, actually, I think I could just do application entity, but that's fine. I said container, right? But I'll just use WOM, just so I...
No, it works.
Sorry. Okay, so save that, run that.
I've seen that other one too.
Yep, so there you go.
How about that?
So it wasn't
Sweet.
answered. So what we can do is just go ahead and set it and then send that, set that to true. And then it shouldn't throw error. Just do that just so we know. And then run it. Oh, that's because, okay. That's because I got it, set it, and then grab it out again. So if I run it again, it shouldn't give me an error. What? Am I doing something wrong? Paste that. Get that out again. Equals, actually do var here. And then get rid of that. So now I'm just getting it. Okay, now I'm messing everything up. I shouldn't have did that. getting it. You know what else I can do? I can say DC is of type DC get type. Save that, run it. Okay, that's not nice. That's interesting. I wonder if it's undefined. Okay, now that's weird. Oh, it's throwing this error, so nothing's happening. Container, blah, blah. Yeah, it's a disclosure certification. Okay. What the heck? So that's right. So what am I doing wrong?
Anthony, it probably is, if you've got it could be the custom attributes, right? It's just that it's not pulling all the way down the chain for some reason.
Well, you know what? I never outputted what this was. So let's output to see what this is, right?
Yeah.
Running. It's null.
That's, yeah.
Okay.
It's not pulling it back.
But if I go ahead and set it, so let's say I go DC, set qualified attribute.
Right, it's going to just be there.
It is set qualified attribute. And then I get it again.
Yeah, exactly. Running.
Okay, now it's true. So what did I do wrong in the beginning? Oh, I think when I throw the error, it backs it out. So that's what happened. So I set it and it threw the error, which means it never set it. And then I ran it again thinking that it was set. But it wasn't.
Right.
So every time you throw an error, it does not, commit.
It doesn't complete the action.
Right. So now let's go back to here.
Oh.
If we go to edit relatedness assessment, right now it says true. We don't want that. Okay, so you'll have to make sure you change what's in that view. So we go to the view. We go to, wait, no, that's good. No, that's perfect, actually. So the analyst should never say yes and then send it to the director. Otherwise, it's just going to show up. So this is right anyway. Does that make sense?
So you're saying that it should handle the error better, right? Or you're saying it's just a training issue, basically?
It is a training issue.
Can I see the new error? Or can you show it on the
Can
screen?
you throw that?
There shouldn't be an error
into the
now,
ticket?
because if I go ahead
Oh.
and finish, well, now the director has to answer these questions, which doesn't make sense, right?
Oh,
Right.
I thought it was going to. Oh, it's on the director's screen.
Oh, I'll try to reproduce it and then set it up so it does the same thing. Where basically it's just supposed to say you have to answer these questions on the main screen, right? On the
No.
workspace screen.
Well, when um, hmm, it will throw an error when that activity is run, and that activity is send to director for, send to director. So it will throw an error, whatever error, wherever it is, it'll put wherever error it is. It'll put it on that page.
Okay.
But
Anthony, if you could copy that code from QA back to dev, I think people would find it useful, perhaps, to refer to.
what, this
You don't
right
mind?
here? This?
Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah, the container.
I don't know if it's the same. Oh, okay. Okay.
See what I'm saying? Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's going to get overwritten, and some people might want to go to school on the container, use the container or something.
Well, you know what? This shouldn't get overridden if we're doing the patches.
Because it's not checked in. Or no, you
No,
can't check this stuff in.
No, from now on, it shouldn't get overridden because it's not.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah,
Because we're not
got it.
overwriting everything. But I can go ahead and
I got it.
put it over there anyway. Let's see.
Okay, so I guess what I'm going to say, just so we get through all this, I'm going to stop this recording and say, Nam, if you have further questions as you're working on this while Anthony's here, Anthony, can he text you or chat with you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to stop this. Oh, Anthony, let's see, who can stop this? I should be able to. Oh, here, I found it.